I think I already have done a video or audio on this, but I'll put it back out there. I had a question on gold and silver and, the precious metals. Should I get rid of the satanic money to get that? Well, my answer is no. Absolutely no. But only in the aspect of, you're replacing the filthy paper money with satanic notes with something else, which will help you get things if things get bad momentarily. It's not like you're going to have a bunch of gold coins and you're going to go to the store with them and buy a loaf of bread. Or maybe you will actually, and it'll take you $1,000 worth of your coins to get a loaf of bread. As far as being prepared, I'm somewhat prepared, but not very far out, okay? Because if things actually get bad, when they do, the Lord is going to supply your needs. Now, that doesn't wash away common sense. We should have enough stuff around, or the know-how of how to get things that we need from the land, the rivers and the lakes, to feed our children and protect our loved ones. But the Lord will provide in so many ways. I guarantee you that. He said He'll never leave us. But, it all goes back to Scripture. A lazy man will starve, we know what that means. We have to get out there and do something. In those fields, rivers, streams, lakes, hunting if necessary, which I have never done, but if I had to, I would, I guess. I don't look forward to those kind of things. Where was I going with this? The gold and silver and stuff. You have to keep in mind, it's absolutely worthless. Unless you can eat it, it's worthless. Keep in mind, some satanic moron came along and told the people that were living off the land, here's what you're going to use, and you're going to obey me because of it. Okay? Gold is worthless. It has no value at all. Dirt is more valuable than gold. Okay? The dirt on the bottom of your shoes that you kick off and before you go in your house or whatever is of way greater value than any amount of gold. You can plant something in the dirt that you kicked off your shoes and get nourishment from it. The only value gold has, or silver, or any of these things, let's stay with gold, or I'll get too far off the topic because everything is tethered in. It's ridiculous how much it's cobwebbed in. Gold is an excellent source of grounding. It absolutely is good for that. If you had a bar of gold and put it on the ground and put your feet there wet, you would absorb a refinement of electrical sources. It would be good for you. But your bare feet are good enough. That's it. Other than that, keep in mind, gold is worthless. Silver is worthless. People like to wear it. Why? Keep in mind, we are labeled as fish also, okay? I will make you fishers of men. Now, if any of you have done any fishing, you've oftentimes used a lure, something very shiny. It lures the fish. And yes, that's why it's from the Jew, lure. Yes, that's a play on words, the Jew, lure. Now, that's not to say that, you know, is it bad to wear a wedding ring? Now, you know, those things are kind of mentioned in the Bible here and there, rings, but we were not to wear any gold and silver. It's also mentioned, or, you know, so many other things we're not to do. I myself don't believe in a wedding ring. If I need to wear a ring to keep me faithful to my woman, then there's a problem. There's also a problem if I am not strong enough to keep someone else from trying to advance towards me. That shouldn't happen. And if it does, it should be easy enough to stop without a wedding ring on. See, I'm getting all over the place here, sorry. Back to the gold and silver. Gold is used because it is in itself can be refined down very much into a pure state. Well, the streets of heaven are going to be gold. It's never topical, okay? It's never topical. The streets of gold, what would be the use in that? Keep in mind, he said he speaks and they do not know what he's saying. The topical reading of that. Streets of gold would mean that it's going to be refined up there. It's going to have went through the crucible. I think that's what it's called, where you melt down the gold or silver. You refine it. It's going to be very refined in heaven. There's going to be no sin up there. It's going to be refined, as is the golden streets. Now, could there be golden streets there? Yeah, if the Lord wants there to be, but I'm here to tell you, if you read topically, you're not going to get good nourishment from the scriptures. You'll get nothing more than the average person would. So, as far as having Bitcoin and cash and gold, it's worthless. Absolutely worthless. Do I still use money? Yes, very little of it. The Lord has taken it away from me. I used to make a lot of money. It was definitely taken away from me. And I don't miss it. Are things harder for me? Absolutely. I have to really lean and put all my faith in the Lord. And that's what's going to happen to many of us. If you're walking in the light and you're digging into for the truth, you might as well prepare yourself. You are going to have your money taken from you in one way or another. He does not want us to have it. I wish I had my video going right now. I'm out driving around actually, and they're spraying the fields. One of your biggest enemies out there. There's the guys right here down on the ground. And it's windy and it's spraying everywhere, and that neighbor's house is engulfed in it. Unbelievable. Back to the gold. See what I mean? I can't stay. It's all just such a mess. What a masterpiece, huh? Gold. Yeah, just if I had to give advice on money, what would I do with it? If you have some, find some land somewhere, purchase it, and try to make sure it's nowhere near any of these stupid fields where they spray continually and are killing off humanity with it. Find something that is at a You know, maybe have a little bit of tree line or woods to it. Wouldn't have to be much land, you know. And get in there and cultivate it. Get you some seeds. And yes, it's hard to find any that are not GMO seeds. That's what I would do if I had that to do with. And in the scriptures, doesn't the Lord say, I don't know why you use money unless it's to purchase food? And what did he use to pay the offering or the tax kind of thing to the temple? Because they were demanding money. The Lord said, go down to the water there, and you'll get a fish and pull out of its mouth a coin. Why was it in there? Look into these things. You're going to be astonished. And this goes back to where I was just talking about a lure. The coin that they used to pay with, I believe it was called a, if you really research, I'm not talking about just taking the most obvious thing to show you, but it's basically just a piece of metal of lower value that wasn't even a coin. It was just a piece of metal, and they would smash it. Okay. And in fact, it was an insult to pay with that to that certain situation that they were told to give money to. That was an insult. Okay. It wasn't the money of that time that was being put back in. Caesar wanted what was Caesar's kind of thing. I think it was called a seculum or a seclum. I forget. Basically, if you had a piece of, let's say, some silver or brass or iron, which was all rare, okay, so they'd smash it down, and it didn't really look like a coin, but it was kind of a flattened piece of metal. They would use that. Why was it in the fish's mouth? Because it was shiny and it was worthless. And they put it on fishing string and threw it out there. And attached to a hook, the fish got it lodged in their mouth. Or usually in their belly, but you know, that's the same thing with the jeweler and the money. It's a lure from the jeweler. You know that word J-E-W. Look at that backwards. Okay. W-E-J, what would that be? Wedge. Again, it's what comes out of your mouths that tells you the truth or defiles us or harms us or hurts us. W-E-J is pronounced wedge. That would be like W-E-D-G-E. You know, as a carpenter, I've cut many wedges. What do you do with it? Well, you can either prop something up that wasn't made correctly to begin with, or it's used to divide things. And that's what they do. They are here to divide things. They are not what you think. Why do you think you have a jeweler? For the fish of men. Shiny trinkets to catch people with. Here come the interruptions. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them. And as always, thank you. And prayers are with each and every one of you. And yeah, I think that's it. Have a good day.